What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on Bed Bath & Beyond.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on the price chart and how we get there. Then we'll continue with the fundamental news and I will show you the main news that might be the driver of the upcoming price action. And at the end of this video, I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis. And I will show you what should we expect next. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this point, and I've told you that this asset was in consistent downtrend, and right here at this very point, let me show you more thoroughly, it formed a descending triangle. It is a quite bearish pattern that usually breaks to the downside. And I've told you that because of this pattern and because of the fundamentals of this company, that before the date when I made my video, they announced that they have to dilute the existing shareholders by the stock offering because they don't have enough money to operate, and that is why this asset went lower. As you can see, it broke this range of support exactly as I predicted, retested from the bottom as in a textbook, and went even lower. And I also told you that we might find some kind of support right here at its previous all-time low that it established at the very beginning of January this year. And right here, as you can see, when we were approaching to this range, we had quite interesting volume, but eventually this breakout happened, and we have a confirmation with this volume as well. Then it bounced to the upside with a false breakout to the upside, and it was, in my opinion, a bull trap. And then it went even lower. And right now I have to say that this asset is still in its consistent downtrend. And during last two sessions it lost about 48% of its value. And since I made my previous video from this point, this asset lost, let me show it to you, lost to its current price about 75% of its value. Mind-blowing movement to the downside, and I have to say that in my opinion it is not the end, but we have some details. So, and I will show you my technical analysis in just several minutes, and for now let's continue with the fundamental news. First of all, if you want to know more about this stock and the general sentiment around this company, just type in Google search bar BBBY stock and switch to news tab folder. You can find the most recent news, and all of them are quite bearish. Let me show you, for example, this one. And this news will describe the situation around this company. So, Bed Bath & Beyond warns about bankruptcy again. And let me quote this. Struggling home goods retailer Bed Bath & Beyond announced that it would sell $300 million worth of its shares. $300 million worth of its shares. The company also warned that it will likely file for bankruptcy if the stock sale is not successful. Bed Bath & Beyond shares tumbled 26% following the announcement. And let me quote you further. The company said in a regulatory filing that it was putting up for sale $300 million worth of its shares in an at-the-market offering program. Simultaneously, Bed Bath & Beyond terminated its previous public equity offering and outstanding warrants for Series A convertible preferred stock that it made just last month. That sale, which the company had hoped would rise $1 billion, brought in $360 million. So the previous stock offering was unsuccessful, and they covered only about 36% of desirable amount, and that is why this asset was still in downtrend. And on top of that, I have to say that if you take a look on their fundamentals, on their financials, you can see that on Q1 2021, their assets were bigger than their liabilities. But right now, since Q1 2022, they have consistently growth in their liabilities, and their assets became lower and lower. On top of that, their income also, as you can see, this blue bar becomes lower and lower, and they are in the process of increasing their losses. And this means fundamentally this asset is not the perfect one, let's say it, let's put it this way. But in general, I have to say that when we can see a lot of bearish sentiment on the company, we might see another quite opposite movement, and this movement might happen soon. So what I'm talking about, you might wonder what I'm talking about. First of all, let me show you that this asset still doesn't have support from retail community, and we cannot find this ticker symbol on the most active section of stocktweets.com website, on watchers section, and on trending section as well. On top of that, it is not on the first page of apewisdom.io website, and this website tracks the activity of Wall Street Bets community. But on the other hand, let me show you that, for example, let's take a look on 7th, 8th and 9th places. As you can see, we have 3 companies that have a mind-blowing increase in number of mentions. So 4,600%, 3,100%, and it had a very harsh spike in interest. This means the interest from retail community might spike in a very short period of time. And what might be the reason of this spike? Let me show you right here that if you take a look on the short volume ratio on fintel.io, we can find that the short interest percent of float is not so high. It is around 19.34%. It is relatively high, but in my opinion it is not sufficient for the short squeeze. But the other data shows that we might see the upcoming short squeeze. So they have about 800,000 shares available for shorting, and this data was made just an hour ago. And the short borrow fee rate is quite high, 78.25%. On top of that, the off-exchange short volume ratio is still very high. It is around 44.46%. And this means the short squeeze is very possible. On top of that, let me show you that 800,000 shares is just a fraction of their outstanding shares. Let me show you on tradingview.com. You can find this information right here at the very bottom of their key stats. And they have 416 million shares outstanding. This means this number of shares is extremely low, and definitely if we will see some spark in interest from the retail community, and if Bed Bath & Beyond publish some good news that might be this initial spark, definitely the movement to the upside will destroy all the short positions of this asset. So, and let's continue with the technical analysis, but before we dive deep right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, this movement to the downside, as you can see on hourly time frame, we don't have basically none of green candles during the day trading sessions. We have only several green candles right here at the extended hours. And this means, in my opinion, we still have some chances to see at least a small bounce to the upside. But if we take a look on indicators, we don't have bullish divergence on RSI yet, but we have quite a good sign from the MACD indicator that this asset is losing its negative momentum. As you can see, we have a higher low on MACD and a lower low on the price action. But we have to see the same pattern on RSI. And this means we have to wait, in my opinion, in order to be on safer territory, on a relatively safer territory, because if this asset files, if this company files its bankruptcy, nothing can help us. And let me show you again this data. Let me show you their balance sheet. You can see that they cannot cover all their liabilities with their assets. This means some of their shareholders will lose their money because of this disbalance. So, and let's continue with the price action itself. What should we expect next? In my opinion, we have to see some kind of bullish pattern right here. Definitely we might have another leg to the downside that will form again lower low on the price action, and at the same time we have to see higher low on an RSI, and we have to see the trend continuation on the MACD indicator. If it happens, and if this asset, let me show you, will form something like this, in this case, we will have very good opportunity somewhere at this point to accumulate our position in a short-term perspective, because we are on hourly time frame, and definitely this trend will not last for a long time. And what might be the target? For now, it is extremely difficult to identify it because we don't have the confirmation of new uptrend and we don't have the confirmation of the lowest point of this price action. This means it is quite difficult to make this assumption. But with the assumption that this asset lost during last 2 sessions about 46% of its value, and if it will lost even more, let's assume that the next range of support might be at around 30 cents price point, somewhere here. In this case, if we pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from its swing high right here, basically it's not the swing high, it is just its latest point. And in this case, it will have a bounce to the range of about 42 cents. And this will bring on the table about 42% of potential profit. So, quite lucrative profit, but this trade is extremely risky. I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag.